So, beginning our part 2 of a classic Nectar flow. It's a little more complicated and a little more advanced in the second round. And then we'll wind it down at the tail end, the last 10 minutes or so. So, we're coming into Sun C variations that mirror our Sun B variations from part 1. Coming back now from downward facing dog, we'll take a moment to play with some hops forward. You guys, I am still messing with this mic. I tell you, it's kind of been brittle today. All right, so come into downward facing dog. We talked a little bit in part 1 about bending the knees, lifting the heels, and look at how much lift I get here. Now, what works for me in my hops for handstand work is remembering, A, it's called handstand for a reason. I need to put my focus on what's happening in my hands, not what's happening in my legs. So most people are like this because they're thinking about their legs, and the legs feel super heavy. So I want to activate the legs, lift the heels, drop them slightly to get my spring. So it's this action. Now I'm going to look forward. My eyes go to my hands. I think about the weight shifting into my hand. Bend the knees. And I find little hops and floats. So you can play with that in the beginning. It's going to probably look like that, and that's fine. Over time, you start to stack your hips over your shoulders a little bit more. So do a few more hops. Maybe bending the knees and tucking. Hopping till you feel like you're a little bit worn out. Forward fold. And then from here, we'll bend the knees. Inhale. Rise all the way up to stand. Reach tall through your fingertips. Right now, working to stabilize into the right side of our body. Inhale. Lift your left leg. Exhale, cross. Left leg cross the midline. And sit into your eagle pose. Left arm will go under. You can modify by stepping the right toes outside of the left foot. Left toes outside of the right foot. Or wrapping the arms at the chest. Or, I should say. So spine is nice and long here. Deepen this pose. Again, maybe wrapping the foot, sitting a little lower. We're going to inhale, rise up with that left knee. Exhale. Find an airplane pose. I haven't spoken yet about drishti, which is our gaze in yoga, focusing on one single spot. And it's not just focus of the eyes, that's on the very surface level. It's also focusing your mind. Take one more inhale, maybe look forward, lift your chest a little more. Exhale, step your left foot back and inhale, crescent. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll take a prayer crescent twist. Option again to drop that back left knee, belly is up and in. Inhale, up through the center. Exhale, hands plant. And then we'll take a 3-legged vinyasa option here. Right leg stays lifted. Exhale down. Inhale, take your right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Lift up. Option to bend chaturanga. Arms here, look to your right. Inhale, come up. Lift the right leg high. Exhale, right foot to right thumb. Drop your back left heel down. Inhale, up. Warrior 1. Reaching through your fingertips, finding length, paying attention to how your pelvis is in space. The shape of our pelvis here, with both feet on the ground, is going to mirror the shape of our pelvis as we shift forward, bend our back left leg, whoops, and come straight to dancer pose. Reach long through that left arm, kick your left leg up. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, release your left foot slowly. Step the left foot back. Inhale, reach long through your fingertips. Exhale, pyramid pose. Several full and deep breaths here. I love this pose. Root down strongly through the right leg. Draw your right hip back. And there goes my family down to the river, driving away from me. We're going to inhale, walk our hands forward, plant them at the top of the mat, and take the left leg high. And here we are in standing splits. Standing splits, I really want to square my left hip down, extend lots of length through my left toes, wrapping my elbows in, and then options. Stay right where you are. If you get tired, meet us in forward fold. Take your forehead toward your shin as you bind the right forearm to the right leg. Maybe even play with balance, which I'm feeling imbalanced today. Left hand to left to right ankle. Or release your hands and play with some handstand hops. Now, same thing applies that it did in down dog. We can drop the heel, find a little bend of the knee, but really more of a flick of that right foot to take ourselves upside down. And again, maybe in your handstand hops, you're just feeling this little, but I want you to really focus on the pressure of your hands into the mat to get that bottom leg light. So it's that push of the hands firmly into the ground that gets you handstanding. We'll meet here and forward. Head and neck, fully releasing. Inhale, rise all the way up. I gotta catch my breath too every now and again, especially after handstanding. And then on an exhale, we'll shift our weight into our left foot. Inhale, take your right leg high, cross the body, and wrap. Finding your eagle variation. This time it's right arm under, whether you're crossing at the shoulders or binding eagle arms. Sit super low. Notice into your strength here. Inhale. Lift up, lift that right leg. Exhale, find your airplane. Look forward. Square your shoulders down toward the earth. Move strongly through your back, right hip. And then we'll inhale, take, press it. Exhale, hands to your heart, prayer twist to the left. Belly is up and in, super strong in that back right thigh. Always that option to drop your back right knee. And then inhale, up through the middle. Exhale, hands plant, three-legged vinyasa. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, left knee to the left elbow. And again, option for that little chaturanga lower, pretty challenging. Builds toward a fun arm balance. Step your left foot through. Inhale up. Warrior one. Right hip slightly forward, but really paying attention to the sternum, the shoulders facing and squaring forward. From here, we're coming into dancer, right? So we're going to come up on the back right toes, keep the integrity of the shape in the pelvis as we lift. And find your one point of focus. Keep kicking and reaching. One more inhale. Exhale. Release super slowly. Avoid that foot clomping down. Step the right foot out and fold. Pyramid. Head and neck fully releasing. Micro bend in your front leg. Inhale, look forward, plant your hands, lift your back right leg, square your right hip down, and then our standing split, the variation you played with on the other side. So I'm binding my left elbow, left forearm, I should say, to my left calf, maybe bringing my right hand, or coming up on the toes, lifting my right leg, shifting my weight into my hands, my belly's up in it, I'm pressing the ground away, and then I float up into my handstand options. Reach lots of length through the legs. From here, we're going to meet in that forward fold shape. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, lift the left leg. Take the left hand to the left knee And then option to dive down and grab your big toe if you can keep your spine nice and straight. Otherwise, we keep the left knee bent, hand to the knee. And then from here, we open up out to the left, either leg straight or not. Stand through your left toes, left knee, super strong and active in, I'm going to turn to the front here, super strong and active in the standing right leg, right? Take one more inhale, and then on your exhale, you'll bend the left knee and find tree pose. Really strong here in the right side of the body. As we hold tree, hands can come to your heart, or you can reach your fingertips long. From here, take your right hand to your right ankle. Take your right hand to left ankle, you guys. And then we're going to sit into this dancing Shiva shape or figure 4. This is Temple Dancer, not Dancing Shiva. Oh man, it's been a long day. All right, sit super low. There is an arm balance option here. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not feeling it. But if you know it, now's the time. You can inhale, reach your left leg up, and exhale. We'll plant the hands back into that standing split shape. Now jumping back with the right foot into down dog or a vinyasa. So option to do a few little float hops to jump that right foot back. If you have handstand or you're playing with it and you want to come into it and float through your vinyasa that way, that was a little sloppy, but that's an option. Inhale, take our right leg high again. Exhale, right knee to right elbow again. Optional here to find that little arm balance. It's the same move, that chaturanga arms. Step your right foot through. Windmill open, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Look forward of your right foot. Take your right hand to the earth and come into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. It's one of my favorite poses. So, since I'm not feeling super balanced today, I'm not going to take my gaze up. Some days I feel good taking the gaze up to the top hand. Other days it's not there for me. Bend your top left leg if you want to add in this really nice quad stretch, binding your foot to your hand. Tuck your chin into your throat, lots of length here. Inhale. Step your left foot, reach long, straighten your right leg, wide leg forward fold, head and neck release. Here you can take Pasarita Padottanasana, variation A. Hands will walk in line with the feet, bend your elbows back, draw the crown of your head toward the earth. Hip points are going high, so you're really working the stretch here. And the weight is more in the big toe mounds than it is rocked back in the heel. Inhale, come up halfway. And then on your exhale, take a deep side Buddha lunge to the left. Gaze past your right shoulder. Back into your breath. We'll walk around to the back of our mat. Take your hands down, drop your right knee, and find a lizard pose. Roll out onto the left side of your foot if you'd like. Come onto your forearms if that feels good. For me, my left side's tight. Forearms don't work. Now, if you're on your forearms, you may want to come up onto your hands for this next round. You may just want to stay right here if this pose feels like medicine. Rooting down into that right hand. First, I'm going to twist open. Taking my left hand to my left knee. Then maybe reach left fingertips long. Stopping at any point or reaching back. Sweat toward the front of your mat, where we used to be at the front. Bend your right knee and bind your right hand to your left hand to your right knee. I swear I'm usually not this bad with left and right. Release. Take your hands down. And then from here, come up on the back right foot. Step your right foot up to meet your left. And then I'm going to play today with a pose called Titibasana. So we did a little more opening in the hips. We can start to walk the hands back behind the feet. Now, if this is not available at all for you, but you have crow pose, practice your crow pose. So keep working on that. Otherwise, you can start to sit the hips and kind of pinch the upper arms with the calves and the thighs. And there's a rounding or a catting of the spine. Now from here, I feel my weight shift into my hands as I take my hips down. Then as I start to straighten my legs, squeeze my legs into my arms, I find this lift. And we hold this, or crow pose, or crow prep. Yogi squat's the other option. One more inhale, and then exhale, slowly release. Rock yourself forward. Inhale, meet me in Malasana. Exhale, sit your hips low. Inhale, rise up, facing the back of our mat now. Hopefully your view behind you is as good as it was in front of you. All right, from here, we're gonna take our Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana variation opposite side. Super strong in that left side. Lift your right knee, holding here at the knee or binding to the foot. Several breaths, find your balance. Make sure you're staying nice and tall, long in the spine. So here we are. I'm going to take the foot bound option. Kick the foot out to the right. Added challenge would be to take your gaze left. One more inhale, and then on your exhale, find your tree pose. Right foot to the calf, all the way to the ground as an option, or to your inner left thigh. Inhale, reach. And then from here, we'll find that temple dancer shape. The right ankle comes to the left thigh, and we sit back with the hips. I've got a little tilt to my pelvis, almost like a cow pose. That really helps me access this outer right hip. Again, that arm balance is here, and you would take, it's called flying pigeon. You would take the right foot to hook on the right arm and bend, float like you would in crow. Take one more inhale, and then on your exhale, rise up. Take your right knee back up, and then we'll find our standing splits with the right leg high. Now here, same options as on the other side. Maybe we play with just focusing on hopping the left foot back as you straighten and strengthen in the arms and lift the right leg. And that looks again like that. So you're just focusing on the left foot. Maybe you're getting closer to handstand and you're kicking both legs up, or just playing with your handstand hops. Maybe you have your handstand and you're working to transition from handstand to chaturanga. There's a little break at the elbows, or bend, I should say. And you find up dog, meet me in down dog. We'll take left leg high, inhale. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Maybe you float. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left foot steps through. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, look forward of your left foot. Pick up, reach up, and find Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon pose. Feeling a little better for some reason on my left side balancing today, so I took the gaze up for a hot minute. I'm going to bend my top right leg. Find that Chapasana variation. Really nice stretch for the quads. Release. Slowly lower your right foot. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, fold, head and neck. All the way releasing. Now options, previous variation. Maybe you take peace fingers around your toes. If you have or are working toward headstand, you can take this tripod headstand. I'll cue it, but I encourage you to do this with a teacher. So you'll have the elbows wrapping in like we did in the previous variation. The crown of the head has to work toward the earth, so you may need to walk the feet wider. If that's the case, I'm wrapping my elbows in, and I've got this triangle, hence tripod. What I see a lot of is people with their hands up here trying to kick up, and that is not good. So you might stay right here. You may just lift the heels and feel that shift of weight into your hands and into your head. If you're coming up, I want you to ensure there's very little to no weight in the head, and maybe the feet float up and you're upside down. I shouldn't say no weight in the head. We are in a tripod. I should say even weight in the head. So we'll take one more inhale here. Exhale, lower the feet down, flex the feet. You can even bend your knees. I like to keep them straight. It's a good stretch. Lower all the way down. Inhale halfway up. I'm going to come back onto my mat. And then take that deep lunge to the right side. Coming into side Buddha lunge or Skandasana. And from here, we'll find lizard pose. Staying up. I've got my right toes turned out to the right, rolling onto the knife's edge of my right foot. Twist, taking the right hand to the right knee. And now open your fingertips. Exhale, hands up, make an end point, maybe bind. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, look forward. Step your left foot up to meet your right. And here I want to play with one more handstand variation option, donkey kick. So we're in our malasana. You can do any of the previous stuff we've done from this shape, either stay, come into crow pose prep, or that titibasana, firefly pose. Or you can plant your hands. You've got your feet angled out slightly. You'll do these little kind of froggy shape, I should say, not donkey kicks. So you're going to take your knees to bend, but keep your arms straight and strong. And then from here, kick up. And try to keep the feet from clumping down. So if you can control the descent, you'll begin to get more control of the ascent. So over time, you stack the hips over the shoulders. Maybe you straighten the legs. Maybe you bend, bring the knees in and up. Oh, and if you fall out, try to cartwheel out. So, playing with that, and it might just be that you're here, but the instant you feel your weight transfer into your hands, that's when you're handstanding. So, that's the sweet spot. That's also the spot where the brain kind of goes, oh crap. You can also do this with a wall behind you and think about your hips hitting the wall. So that would, I don't have a wall, right? But that would be like that, right? We're here. Then over time, maybe you can work the legs straight. And it's so much about awareness of your pelvis in space, the largest bone in your body, right? Strap, I'm pretty sure the pelvis is larger than the skull. So from here, we're going to sit the hips low, draw the knees into our chest, round our forehead. Find a little bit of a seated ball pose, resting, and then inhale, come up, boat pose. Exhale, lower just the upper body for low boat, then lower the legs. Lift the legs and the torso, extend, lower the legs, lift both. Once more. Good. And from here, Baddha Konasana. Bound ankle. Starting to wind down. Inhale, come up. Taking supine pigeon, lying back if you'd like, or half pigeon, right side. Notice your breath beginning to slow. finding some ease and some release. Inhale, come up. Tuck the back left toes, fire up your left thigh, and step your right foot back to meet your left. We'll take a down dog, and then if you were in supine pigeon, you'll just switch. You'll take the left leg through, lift your chest, and inhale, come up, and from here, swing your right leg around, and find Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Personally, I really like to have my knees bent, and when I'm not working with props, I just wrap the arms underneath the knees and fold here. If you really love a deep forward fold and want to go for the traditional bind of the feet, of the hands to the feet, you can go for that. Inhale, come up, rise. Exhale, scoot your hips toward your booty and round down, finding bridge pose setup. Palms face up. And we'll inhale. I would like for you to keep this natural curve in your spine as long as possible. So you actually kind of let the pelvis stay weighted a little heavy, and I'll try to demonstrate that. So instead of lifting first from the tailbone, I'm actually going to keep my tailbone in neutral as I lift. The bum stays heavy. Then once I'm as far as I can get, I start to push into the feet and the tailbone lifts a little more. I'm not overly clenching, squeezing the glutes. They are active. From here, maybe bind the hands underneath, wiggle the shoulders, and open up more into your chest. Release your hips down. And then option to take that bridge pose again. If you have a block and want to come to supported bridge, go for it. Or you can take a wheel pose, taking your hands about the same line as your shoulders, maybe a little ahead, and they're mat's width, so hands outside of the shoulders. From here, lift your hips like bridge pose, and then come up gently onto the crown of your head, straighten your arms, open your heart. One more, inhale. Exhale, tuck your chin, back of the head comes down, not the crown of the head. Drop your hips. And then take Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet to touch, knees, palms face up. From here, take your right knee to close like the cover of a book on top of your left as you scoot your hips to the middle of the mat. Knees drop over to the left. Fingertips straight over to the right. Fingertips straight out to the right. And take a supine twist. Inhale to open up. Back to Supta Baddha Konasana. And then take your left knee on top of your right. Scoot your hips to the middle. And find supine twist on this direction. Inhale back to the center. And then here, any pose that you feel like will close out your practice, you're welcome to add in here. A lot of folks really love Happy Baby, where you grab the outer edges of the feet, the closing posture. For me, I don't love that. I really like Dead Bug, where the limbs just kind of hang loosely in the air. Take a big breath in wherever you are. We'll take a lion's breath with the tongue out. Twice more, a big breath in. Last one. Hug your knees into your chest. Squeeze everything in. Take a big breath in. Maybe even bring your forehead up to your knees. And release. Legs long, palms out and up. Pick up some space and find your Shavasana, your final rest. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you can. If it turns into a nap, then good on you. I am the sign off. Thank you so much for joining me, and stick with me. We'll be doing more of these. Namaste.